Good evening and welcome to the UNSW Arts Design and Architecture Information Evening. My name is Dean Heffernan and I'm the Faculty Recruitment Officer for ADA at UNSW, and I have the pleasure of hosting tonight's session. Before we begin the event, I would like to acknowledge the Bejical people who are the traditional custodians of the land in which I am joining you from, our Kensington campus. I pay my respects to elders both past and present and extend that respect to any First Nations people joining us tonight. For this evening's session, you'll hear from our Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture, Professor Claire Annesley, who will take us through an overview of our wonderful faculty and the diverse range of degrees we offer, the opportunities that await our students, as well as the careers that you might find yourselves in the future. We also have an interview with two of our architecture students, speaking about their experiences at UNSW, followed by information on pathways to study with us at ADA, and finally ending on an interactive Q&A involving some of our current students. So any questions that you have throughout the session, please pop them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer those during the Q&A. As a global top 20 university, UNSW is renowned for its world-leading expertise. Our academics are at the forefront of groundbreaking research and ideas, and you'll have the chance to learn from that wealth of knowledge and experience right in your classrooms. We are committed to shaping a generation of forward-thinking graduates who will make a positive impact in the world. From a vibrant student life to world-class degrees, UNSW offers a transformative experience inside and outside the classroom. In recognition of the outstanding talent and achievement of our students, UNSW has been named Australia's most employable university for the 5th year in a row. This is by the Australian Financial Review. We also have a strong reputation for innovation, with more startup founders having studied at UNSW than anywhere else. To take us through our Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture, I would now like to pass on to our Dean, Professor Claire Annesley. Thank you, Claire.
Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining this Arts Design and Architecture faculty overview. My name is Claire Annesley and I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Arts Design and Architecture at UNSW. It's great that you're here. Choosing a university, choosing a degree programme is a really, really big deal. And I think some of you who are tuning in right now will know what it is you want to study, what it is that you want to become, maybe an architect or a social worker or a teacher, but many of you don't, and that is okay. I think the main message today is that we will support you with your choices and support you to create a unique pathway for yourself through our courses. I think the most important thing to remember when you're making your choices is that university is your education and it's your time. It's a time for you to explore the things that matter most to you, to discover new perspectives. It's a time for you to challenge yourself, to stretch your mind, allow your mind to be blown. It's not just about getting a job, but you will get a great job. It's about gaining new knowledge and new skills that will set you up for the future. So creativity, collaboration, problem solving, communication, leadership, these are the kind of skills that are going to set you up for the rest of your life. It's an education that empowers you to design the life that you want and to make the impact that you would like to have on your community or across the world. So that's what ADA is all about. It's what matters to us. The faculty is one that prioritises a really high quality education and also combines that with a diversity of disciplines, study areas, a huge amount of flexibility and the support that you need to kind of be confident that you're really going to thrive and go on to get the great job and have the great career that you'd like to have. So here's a little bit more about that. When I say that we are a diverse faculty with a lot of different study areas, this is what I mean. We have over 68 different study areas in the faculty, and we've set up our degrees to give students access to as much of this as possible, because it's really important that when you go to a university, you have the opportunity to study things that you'd never even known existed. And this is organised in degrees in this way. So you'll see that we have degrees that are really ones that set you up for a particular career, like architecture or city planning, education, social work, construction management and property. But then we also have the degrees that really allow you to design your own adventure. So arts, Bachelor of Design, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Media, Bachelor of Social Sciences. These are all degrees there where you can craft your own route through them. So in the Bachelor of Fine Arts, for example, we have specialisms in media, in fine arts, in visual arts, and also music. In the Bachelor of Social Sciences, we have specialisms in international studies, for example. In our design degree, we have specialisms in integrated design, computational design, and industrial design. And from next term, we will have fashion design as well. In our Bachelor of Arts, there are over 30 disciplines or study areas that you can choose from. And we've designed that degree so that you can combine 3 different majors in a single degree by the time you graduate. So there's a huge amount of choice for you to create the path that you want. The other way that we have built in a lot of choice for you is through double degrees. So across UNSW, there are more than 40 different double degree combinations available within the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture. And these really give you more choice, more career opportunities, and a greater breadth and depth of knowledge across these different subjects. Some of the most popular combinations in 2024 are the Design and Media double degree combination, Arts and Education, and Arts and Law. Those first 2 you can study in a 4-year duration. Arts Law is a 5-year degree, but they give you those fantastic combination of skills. The other thing that I would like to highlight is just the creative spaces that we have across our faculty. We've invested a lot of money in creative and maker spaces so that you're able to really use the skills that you're on, the knowledge that you're learning, and transfer that into skills in a very, very practical sense. And that might be in a maker space where we've got a lot of kind of robotic equipment, 3D printing equipment, as well as a much more kind of craft-based skills. We have the Esme Timby Creative Practice Lab, which is our theatre on campus. And we have other 3D visualization labs as well, which allow you to really test out the most current skills that are available in that particular space. We also have UNSW Galleries, which is a museum standard exhibition space where our students get a lot of opportunities to practice their skills. And this is a really important commitment to us, that we've invested in our facilities so that you can have world-class experience and be able to put what you learn in the classroom really into practical use. So there are 4 ways that I'd like to really flag to you why our students stand out. The first is to do with employability. So our students are the most employable graduates, and that's been found for a number of different years in the survey on employment outcomes. We do this by giving our students access to professional experiences while they're studying, such as placements or internships, work integrated learning, practicums, so that while you're studying, you've also got the experience of putting those skills into a professional setting. One example is that in our Bachelor of City Planning, all of our students have a paid work opportunity in the 3rd year of their study. A next example is that our students really receive a global education. We make sure that students have access to international opportunities throughout their studies. We have partnerships with 200 different partner universities in 38 different countries. And this means that students can opt to study abroad as part of their degree. We also have professional placements overseas. So, for example, some of our built environment students went to Cambodia and took part in a neighbourhood project, a 10-week experience in Phnom Penh where they were creating community-centred and child-friendly designs for neighbourhoods. The third thing that really makes our students stand out is that they gain access to hands-on learning. I've talked already about our maker spaces and our creative spaces. And also in the way that we teach, we have a lot of studio-based learning, and that gives our students the capacity to to practice the skills that they're learning, to build up a portfolio of work and really enhance those creativity skills that are going to be in demand with employers. The last thing I think really helps our students stand out is that they are being taught by world-class academics, but also industry experts. So, for example, tutors in our construction management program often come from large construction companies like Lend-Lease. And this really means that our students are getting the academic education and also really understanding what is happening in industry right now. So let's move on to graduate career destinations. This slide gives you just a snapshot of some of the many career opportunities that graduates from our degrees go on to do. And there's so much more that you can do. I think the beauty of our graduates is that they can go on to create career opportunities that we don't even know about yet. So this is just a snapshot. What I would like to finish by saying is that there are a huge amount of career opportunities out there. If anybody tells you that if you do study a humanities, arts, creative arts, or social science degree, that you won't get a job, please do not listen to them, because this slide shows you just a sample of some of the jobs that are really in demand, where there are skills shortages, the kind of projected growth, the kind of salaries that these jobs attract, and also the sort of degrees that you would need to study to set you up for these opportunities. And what I'd like to share is that the recent 2023 Graduate Outcomes Survey found that students in humanities, arts, creative subjects are enjoying the biggest gains in employability. They're enjoying the biggest upticks in salary outcomes, often on par and higher with jobs such, graduates from science or maths or even business. And thirdly, the study found that graduates from these disciplines have the greatest satisfaction in their degree when they're studying and also after they have graduated as well. And so I think that's a really important thing to bear in mind when you're making these really difficult choices. What I'd like to go on to do now is introduce you to some of our graduates who have gone on to do incredible things with their degrees, and also put a little bit of a spotlight on the things that really matter to us in industry and in solving big world problems. We're going to do this in the form of a little quiz. You can play along at home. Please pop your answers in the chat and I will let you know if you're right. So I'm going to start with one of our really impressive graduates, Michael Levitt. He works for Canva and has the role of head of localization. And he's really had a pivotal role in driving internationalization initiatives at Canva. So, for example, he has made the platform accessible in over 100 languages, with approximately 60% of users using a language that isn't English. And because of this, they've seen a significant increase in international user engagement, up from 2 million to 138 million. So my question to you is, what degree did Michael complete? Was it the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Social Sciences, or the Bachelor of Politics, Philosophy and Economics? The answer is the Bachelor of Arts. And what I love about Michael is that he discovered his passion by accident. He turned up to the wrong class at university on the first day. He specialised in applied linguistics and went on to do a master's at NYU in New York in the US. My next graduate to showcase is Rebel Wilson, who'll be known to you. She's the actress, comedian, writer, singer, and producer. And my question is, what double degree did Rebel Wilson complete? Was it a Bachelor of Advanced Science and Fine Arts? Was it a Bachelor of Arts Law? Or was it a Bachelor of Media and Arts? The answer is the Bachelor of Arts Law. And you may have heard Rebel talking about the way that her degree really helped her to deal with complex contracts and legal battles in her career. So it's really set her up for success. The third graduate is Rachel Vasila. She graduated from UNSW with a Bachelor of Design, specialising in object design. And she's the founder of a really amazing furniture company called Kelpist. So my question is, as a founder of Kelpist, what does Rachel do? She works as an object designer in her own design practice. She learns from inspiring marine biologists and collaborates with material scientists, or all of the above. The answer is all of the above. She's an entrepreneur, she's a founder, she's a designer. And what I love about Rachel is that she is problem solving with sustainable and ethical materials to produce these incredible pieces of furniture. The next graduate is Stephanie Ottavio. She is a UNSW ADA alum, and with her partner, was crowned winner of the Block 2023. And in this shock auction final, these two fan favourites sold their house to a $5 million bid, making it the biggest block sale in history. So my question is, what degree did Stephanie complete at UNSW? Was it the Bachelor of Architectural Studies, Bachelor of Architectural Studies and the Master of Architecture, or the Bachelor of Interior Architecture? The answer is B, Bachelor of Architectural Studies and Master of Architecture. In her regular day job, Stephanie is founder of SJO Architects and works for herself as a registered architect. She has a Japandi architectural style and graduated in both the Architectural Studies and the Master of Architecture. My next two slides are to highlight or to spotlight a couple of really important bits of our faculty. The first is construction management. We have a Bachelor of Construction Management, and this is a really important degree. Construction industry employs over 1.2 million Australians, and construction managers earn an average of $148,000 per year in Sydney. But the problem is that there aren't many women CEOs in construction management companies. What do you think is the percentage of women CEOs in these companies? Is it 4%? Is it 6%? Or is it 3%? The answer is 3%. Just 3% of CEOs in construction management companies are women. And we have some really important initiatives at UNSW to try to increase the number of women studying construction management and taking on those leadership roles. So the Women in Construction project supports women making their way into the industry with scholarships and training. And in collaboration with the Australian government, we're helping the industry to achieve a target of 15% of women on construction work sites by 2030. So this is a really great career option for everybody tuning in to this meeting. The last spotlight is an innovation spotlight. You may have seen students from UNSW featured on episodes 2 and 3 of The War on Waste on ABC. And one student, Mao Jinyan, presented an idea to reduce waste by creating soluble soy sauce pouches. How does this work?
As cute as they are, these little soy sauce fish pose a big problem to the environment. They're only single-use plastics and really difficult to recycle, meaning they often end up in landfill or in the ocean. So instead of using them, what if we use something like soluble soy sauce pouches?
So my question to you is, what degree is the student who was featured on War on Waste studying? Is it a Bachelor of Design, Industrial Design specialisation? Is it a Bachelor of Fine Arts with a Visual Arts specialisation? Or is it a Bachelor of Design with an integrated design specialisation? The answer is the Bachelor of Design with an industrial design specialisation. And this is a great example of how students are really developing sustainable solutions for real world issues. Thank you so much for your interest in studying in the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture at UNSW. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm going to pass back to Dean now.
Thank you, Claire, for the wonderful overview of our faculty. We'll now be hearing from two of our students who are studying in the School of Built Environment. Harshita, who is in her third year of the Bachelor of Interior Architecture Honours, and Henrik, who is a Master of Architecture student. They're both coming to us from the Design Futures Lab.
Hi, I'm Harshita. I'm currently in my third year at UNSW studying a Bachelor of Interior Architecture Honours.
And I'm Henrik, and I'm studying a Master of Architecture here. And before that, I studied a Bachelor of Architectural Studies.
We're currently located at the Design Futures Lab here at Kensington campus. Can you tell us a little more about what you can do here?
Yeah, so the Design Futures Lab is a workshop and community space for staff and students to express their creativity. It has a range of technologies and people learn through making here. So it has 3D printing, laser cutting, CNC fabrication, robotics, and also a wood workshop. And when you start here, you can use these workshops to create models as part of your degree.
Yeah, I certainly spent a lot of time here. So why did you choose to study a Bachelor of Architectural Studies here at UNSW?
Yeah, so I chose to study here because I was always inspired by Sydney's architectural and ecological landscape. Really wanted to learn about designing for the essence of a place. What about yourself?
I chose interior because I've always been fascinated with mixing creativity and critical thinking and creating a built form. And we do spend 80% of our time in interiors, so I really found fascinating the idea of enhancing the human-centric experience through design. So why did you choose to then extend and do your master's here at UNSW as well?
Yeah, so studying a master's here was a valuable chance to boost my qualifications and also has many career opportunities. And I wanted to learn about industry advancements in the master's. Currently I'm studying high performance architecture, and that's looking at adaptive reuse of old towers in the Sydney CBD, breathing new life into these old buildings.
I see you've got a gorgeous model here. Did you make this for your master's program?
Yeah, so this is a community library in Broken Hill, and I called it a silver lining as it relates to the rich geology and mining focus of Broken Hill, with the silver line of load expressed in the structure of the library itself.
And what sort of technologies did you use in crafting this model?
Yeah, so this model was mainly crafted by hand, although there are 3D printed airfoils you can see there in white. And these airfoils were printed in the Design Futures Lab. The rest of the model was crafted by hand through plaster, balsa and boxboard.
Perfect. Thanks so much for your time, Henry.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Harshita and Henrik. Wonderful to hear about both of your experiences studying our architecture programs, showcasing some of the facilities of our Design Futures Lab on the Kensington campus. Now, back to me to take you through the admissions pathways and scholarships that we offer through Arts Design and Architecture. Firstly, the Portfolio Entry Early Conditional Offer Scheme. Are you passionate about a specific field and possess a unique ability that sets you apart? The UNSW Portfolio Entry Scheme allows you the opportunity to showcase your passion, creativity, talent alongside your ATAR. Consider these 3 reasons why you should submit a portfolio. Number 1, demonstrate your passion and talent alongside your ATAR. Receive an early conditional offer with an adjusted ATAR requirement of up to 10 points below the lowest selection rank. And number 3, this scheme only increases your chances of admission to UNSW through submitting this portfolio. So who is eligible for the portfolio entry? The scheme is open to domestic applicants who apply via UAC for an eligible degree offered in the scheme. If you're a domestic student and have your sights set on a degree at Arts, Design and Architecture, then this scheme is for you. Applying for portfolio program is a straightforward process, and here are some key things to keep in mind. Number 1, the first step is to have your chosen degree as a UAC preference. Remember, an application to portfolio entry scheme is not an application to UNSW itself. You'll still need to apply through UAC before the due date. After you've lodged the UAC application and wish to apply, you can submit your application through the submission portal. The specific requirements of your portfolio will vary based on the degree that you're interested in. This may include a creative portfolio, a cover letter, personal statement, or even a critical thinking piece. While completing the application, save as you go and make sure to come back and make edits. Remember, once you submit your application, that submission is final, so be sure to double check your work. If your portfolio submission is successful, you'll be granted an early conditional offer with the adjusted ATAR requirement. And finally, to receive a firm offer, you must meet the adjusted ATAR that is listed as your degree and place that degree as your highest eligible preference in the respective UAC rounds. Note, this firm offer will still come through UAC. Next, the Riverina Teaching Hub program. This program allows you to live, work, and study in the Riverina whilst completing your secondary teaching degree here at UNSW. Through this program, you'll be able to obtain your qualification from UNSW locally whilst in the Riverina, work part-time and get a salary, receive a yearly training allowance, be supported through your studies, and be offered a permanent position in the Riverina area upon completion of your degree. Our website has more information on the eligible degrees, and you may contact the email on screen to submit your expressions of interest. For our international students joining us, we also have several pathways through UNSW College. Whether you don't quite meet the requirements for our programs, you want to increase your academic skills, or even the level of your academic English, we have a program for you. Foundational Studies prepares you for your first year of study in our undergraduate degrees, offering smaller classes and more personalised support throughout the program. Our Diploma in Media and our Diploma in Architecture can lead you directly into the second year of our undergraduate programs. We also offer an academic English program for students who need to increase their level of academic English before commencing their studies. For non-recent school leavers, we also accept completed AQF accredited diplomas and advanced diplomas through TAFE. Through this pathway, you may also receive recognition of prior learning for some degrees on screen, like design and social work. You can also contact the email on screen for more details about this pathway and your potential for RPL. We also recognise tertiary results if you're looking to transfer from another institution. Now, scholarships can make a significant difference in your life as a university student. UNSW offers a vast range of scholarships, from merit to equity scholarships. We also have a Women in Construction Award Scholarship for students who are wanting to study construction and property management degrees, like Claire mentioned earlier. For our international students, whether you're coming to us through your high school studies or articulating through UNSW college pathways, we also offer many scholarships that you might be eligible for. If you're unsure of your eligibility, we recommend jumping on the scholarships website and searching through the list. There are a range of filters to help you narrow down what you might be eligible for, and when in doubt, contact the scholarships team. We'll now be heading into our Q&A hosted by Svetlana, the Senior Recruitment Product Manager for Arts, Design and Architecture, and she'll be joined by 3 of our current students, Mitchell, Rebecca and Ella. A reminder to pop your questions in the chat and thumbs up the ones you want answers to. Over to you, Svet.
Thanks, Dean, and hi everyone. Welcome to our student panel. I'll start off with a few questions. Ella, I'll go to you first. What are you studying and why did you choose your degree?
So, my name is Ella and I'm studying a Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Arts. I chose to do a double with law just to have a real well-rounded study. And I thought arts was really good because you could pick and choose what you wanted to do. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to major in. straight out of high school, so I tried a few different things, and I finally settled on a major of criminology and a minor of media and technology.
Oh, wow. Awesome. And what about you, Rebecca?
It's
What are you
similar
studying?
with Ella, but
Yeah.
I do fine arts and education.
Yeah.
And in fine arts, I major in visual arts and more specifically drawing and animation. And during high school, I loved my visual arts subject and I also loved helping other people. So I was wondering how I can combine these two interests and passions. And then I saw this double degree and just fell in love with it. And I went to UNSW Open Day and then went to Paddington campus, which is art design and campus. And then just all the facilities there, the staff members and the support services are just wonderful. And I was like, I want to spend the next 4 years here. That's how I decided.
Oh, that's lovely. And what about you, Mitch?
I'm doing a Bachelor of Commerce and a Bachelor of Arts. I'm majoring in creative writing and geographical studies.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, I was, really good, at English, and I really enjoyed creative writing, and I was doing a lot of it in my own time, and I wanted to take it to the next level. So building those practical skills in terms of, how to write and how to edit and things like that. And in terms of doing geography, it was just something I was really, always interested in and, wanted to pursue at a tertiary level.
Awesome. All right. A reminder to keep putting your questions in the chat. I'll just go through some. Rebecca, you mentioned you did education.
Mm-hmm.
What you have teaching placements throughout that degree.
Yeah.
Have you done any yet? What's your work integrated learning like for your
So
degree?
we have to complete 3 placements in total in order
Okay.
to graduate. So it's actually mandatory, which is great. And on my second year, I started my observation placement where I went to a local school and I actually worked with high school students and it was amazing. And I was able to build that practical experiences that I learned from my theory courses. And then I'm currently on my 3rd year. Next term, I'm starting my placement where I actually get to teach in front of the classroom. Super excited. And then on my 4th year, I would have to do 45 days of placement. So it's actually full on. Every year you would get to have an experience, like the opportunity to build that skills. So it's great. Yeah.
Cool. And Mitch, I know that you said you do a major in creative writing.
Mm-hmm.
Within your arts degree, can you do an internship in that? Or?
Yes, you definitely
Okay.
can. So
Yep.
you can take an internship. Usually do it, towards the end of, doing your major. For me, in creative writing, you typically go to a sort of publishing firm and you'll work on editing for that time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be set up with a firm. You'll, do that for the whole term, and then you'll come back and you'll do a presentation along with everyone to show all the great things that you've done in your internship. But yes, definitely can do an internship, and there are lots of opportunities available in that space.
And how do you go about finding the internship? Is there a job board that
Yeah, it's a good
the
question.
faculty has, or?
Yeah, so I believe you can either do it yourself, or
Yeah.
you can get assistance as well from the ADA faculty. They'll help you in terms of sourcing that. We do a lot of skills in class as well. So if some students maybe a bit concerned, they're not ready for their internship, you are definitely able to learn a lot of skills in terms of editing and workshopping in class. To give you an example, my class last term, we did around 6 weeks of editing other people's work. So I've probably built up around 20 to 30 hours worth of editing from there, just in one class.
Yeah.
In my class this term, same thing, except we're doing more. So we're actually starting from our 4th week and we'll be doing editing up until the end of term.
Yeah, so that really gives you that real world life experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Rebecca, one question for you just come through about, you mentioned the arts and design campus. What facilities do you use there, and what can a student use?
That depends on your specialization.
Okay,
But
yep.
for my drawing and animation, I have a separate building that I have to go to. So for my drawing one, I have my own studio space where I get to work on my own art projects and artworks. And for my animation specialization, I have a computer labs where I go there and I have a whole big computer, access to Adobe Create, and super fun. And there's like a main library as well there, and our own sort of food area as well.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Ella, question for you.
Yeah.
How was your transition from high school to university? And are there any tips you could give to our students?
Absolutely. So, look, the transition is difficult because you don't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
But I found that the best way I sort of managed it was to throw myself into as much as possible. So I signed up to various societies. I did all in-person classes, despite there being online options, to meet people in law and criminology. And there's a heavy focus on class participation to really encourage you to build the skills that you need in employment in the industry. So I found that the best way to do it was just to say yes to as much as I could, meet people, and then it starts to feel like a second home and it becomes really easy, and the transition is smooth.
Awesome. So you really, there's opportunities for you to really connect with your peers, but you have to take that first step to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. The university have a wide range of opportunities.
Yeah.
But they're not going to force it upon you. You need to you're going to put into university what you're going to get out of it.
Awesome. I know you mentioned student societies. Are any of you, Rebecca or Mitch, in any student societies?
Yeah,
Rebecca?
so I've joined Korean Society where I connect with like Korean students.
Yeah.
We watched Korean movies together. We ate like K-barbecue together, and it was super fun.
Yeah.
And especially because I'm a rural school where I was the only Asian in my school.
Yeah.
So I was worried about having to make new friends in Sydney. But it was super fun, and I became like an executive member where I actually planned social events myself as well.
Oh,
so you can actually get
awesome.
more involved in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at uni I definitely made lifelong friends, and it's super fun. Yeah.
So that gave you the opportunity to kind of build up on those soft skills, maybe like management, people
Yes,
management.
absolutely. Yeah. I was the marketing manager. So
Oh, perfect.
yeah, it sort of, I was able to explore my artistic sort of interests as well through that, because I ran those social media and posted like promotion. So it was pretty good experience. Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Just like to add on to the society.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are a lot of hobby-based societies.
Yeah.
And I'm actively a part of Law Society, which is a faculty-based society. So what that means is that it's all about enriching your education beyond the classroom. So we do a lot of networking events, meet people in industry. We do mooting and client negotiation, which is sort of similar to debating. That you could have done in high school, but at a specific level for the subject that you're doing that term in law. So I found that that's really good and very complementary to what you do in the classroom, but with a real world experience.
Awesome. That's great. And is that where students can meet current industry partners that the faculty has?
Yeah, so we have various events held at different firms across Sydney, and they often will host like a networking evening, and you can go and you can meet people that are currently employed in the field that you want to do, ask them questions. We have a embedded mentorship program. So when you go to those events, you're very encouraged to meet a mentor, and the university and the law faculty will help set that up and have an ongoing relationship with the industry throughout your degree. So when you leave, you're not only employable, but you have the connections already.
Cool. Awesome. You are all doing double degrees on this panel. Mitch, there's a question here about changing your double degree or going from a single to a double. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience on that?
Yeah, of course. So I started out with a Bachelor of Commerce and a Bachelor of Advanced Science honours in my first year. Found out that I didn't really like the advanced science part of my degree, wasn't too interested in it at this point.
Yeah.
And I still had that burning desire to do creative writing and things like that. So I used the internal program transfer that we have at UNSW. So I used my uni marks to get into the other double degree, so commerce and arts. It was a very seamless transition. I applied before the term started, and then had to wait about a month or so, and then was accepted, and then I was on my way to studying the Bachelor of Arts.
Awesome.
The other thing that you can do as well, if you're not sure if you want to switch, there's capacity for you to actually study one of those courses in the degree that you're interested in. So I actually did an arts course while I was still in my old program.
Oh,
so that kind of gave me a taste of what to expect, and that was really helpful in terms of ensuring that I was making that right decision.
Okay, that's great. And how long was that? So how long after you started did you do that internal program transfer?
It wasn't too long. So I started the arts course. Oh, actually, sorry, in terms of from my initial start.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So It was about 3 years or so.
Okay.
So I had all my commerce stuff had transferred over, which is great.
Yeah.
And then I just started about in my third year or so that I did that.
Talking about credit transfer.
Yeah.
Actually 25% of students in the whole UNSW go through this internal program transfer pathway because this is the place where you get to trial and error, like see what you like and what you hate, right? So I have a friend who is studying engineering, but he changed his specialization 4 times. But it only added 1 term at the end because his credits were transferred over. So I think this is the UNSW is the perfect place for you to see what you want to try out and what you like.
And on a smaller scale, I've not done a formal program transfer, but within my arts major, I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I trialed a range of things. I did some media courses, some international and politics courses, some criminology courses, just to get an idea of what I wanted to major in. And the way the degree is set up, I was able to do everything that I didn't end up majoring in, use those as discipline electives. So time was added to my degree.
Okay, that's really good.
And I still had the opportunity to trial 3 different major streams.
Yeah, okay, that's great. So I think that one of the major concerns that students have is that, if I'm trialing this out, is it going to extend my degree by, a year or so? But it's kind of good that you mentioned that you were able to use the free electives.
Yeah, so the way the degree is set up, you have 2 free electives and 2 discipline electives.
Yeah.
So realistically, there's 4 subjects that you can trial within the arts and social science faculty.
Yeah.
And eventually my third one, I found that I really enjoyed criminology and made that my major, but I still had one more up my sleeve if that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. I've just got a question here about, I guess what support is available for students when they start. So I think they're referring to academic support. Mitch, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, can do.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of support just in general in terms of, academic support. You can go to the Student Nucleus Hub. They're great at being able to assist you with, enrolling into your classes, any other sort of, timetabling issues that you may have. You can also talk to ADA faculty people at the Student Nucleus Hub as well. So you can request to talk to someone who's, within your faculty. And that's really great for getting specific help with your particular degree and program structure and things like that. So if you have any concerns about, am I going to finish on time? What courses do I need to do remaining? What's my progression at the moment? Or, is there anything else that I should be doing that I'm not doing in my degree? You can talk to someone specifically from the ADA faculty to help you out with that.
And what about your lecturers and tutors? Are they available for support? Do you have any experience with that?
Yeah, I definitely do. I've had a lot of support from both my lecturers and my tutors in terms of the assessment tasks and things like that. I had a question around using AI for our assessment as it was kind of incorporated into the course that I was doing for creative writing.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to understand what were the guidelines around that, what can I do and what can't I do, what should I do in terms of acknowledgement, things like that. And both my lecturer and my tutor were really helpful in terms of giving me the kind of guidelines as to what I need to do when I'm, using AI and things like that. So it's quite helpful to have both of their perspectives and their assistance along with that.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of students kind of think that, you have a lecture, you have a tutorial, and then you can't really go and send your...
Well, most tutors these days have consultation times. So,
okay.
I found
What is that?
So basically a tutor, more so, I don't think I've had any experience with my lecturers, but that's not saying that they don't have it.
Yeah.
Tutors will set up sort of a 2-hour block every week in 15-minute time slots, and it's available to all students to book in to ask questions on course content or upcoming assessment tasks. And then also within the criminology major stream, there's sort of a feedback software available. So you submit drafts for your assessment tasks, and it's sort of AI generated, and it will produce feedback of where you can improve, whether it be based on the content or editing feedback.
Oh, awesome.
So that's available throughout all students studying a criminology subject.
Yeah, well, like Ella mentioned previously, you can join a society. It's actually helpful. It's not just about making friends, because I know Education Society, for first year students, they run academic workshops where they help students do their first assessments and just go through the assessment task rubric and explaining like the university jargons and how things are outlined and marked.
Yeah.
So that was pretty useful. And before my first placement, they also had current teachers from high schools and people from NESA coming over, and they explained how the placement happens and how they can actually get the job at the end of their third year. So they sort of prepared me before everything happened. So I felt very confident stepping into my first placement and handing in my first assessment task as well. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, we're getting a few questions around admissions, so let me answer a few of those. One is about is the early conditional offer ATAR a raw ATAR, or can we use adjustment factors? So through portfolio entry, students can get an early conditional offer. This does not include any adjustment factors. So it's based purely on your ATAR and who is eligible for portfolio entry. So it's all domestic applicants applying through UAC are eligible for portfolio entry, obviously depending on the eligible degree. Yep. So, and then just one on how many scholarships can I apply for? So we encourage you to apply for multiple scholarships, but provided obviously you meet the criteria. But if you're unsure, I would recommend getting in touch with our scholarships team so they can advise you further on that. Okay, let me have a look. We've covered IPT pathways. Actually, one thing we haven't covered is people are asking, so you guys do a double degree. Does that mean it's double the workload? So are you at uni, for 40 hours a week compared to, say, someone that's doing a single degree?
No, not at all. So the way that UNSW structure their calendar, you're still doing the same amount of subjects.
Yeah.
It's just slightly extending it. So for example, doing a Bachelor of Laws and Bachelor of Arts is 5 years, whereas doing a Bachelor of Just Arts would be 3.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing the same amount of subjects. I've just got a variety between the 2 degrees, and I've got a similar workload. And I find that a lot of my subjects actually complement each other.
Okay.
So in that way, especially doing criminology, when I'm doing a criminal law subject, I like to put them in the same term. I just find that then the theory transfers over, and in that way it actually reduces the workload.
Okay, that's awesome. And in terms of, you mentioned that there's 3 terms, how do you manage your subject? So, are you doing the same amount of subjects each term, or?
So I personally am actually fast tracking my degree.
Okay.
So I do 10 subjects a year. It's only compulsory to do 6 to be classified a full-time student.
Yep.
But the recommended study load is 8.
Yeah.
I just want to get into industry as soon as possible. So I do 3, 3, 3, and then a summer.
Mm-hmm.
But most people or most of my friends do 3, 2, 3 and move their term with only 2 subjects to when they might do their work industry placement, or pick up some work at a part-time job.
Yeah. Okay.
Or a more content-heavy subject, for example.
Yeah. So they kind of make the timetable work for them as opposed to being kind of stuck doing a certain amount of subjects that term. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
I'll just add on to that very quickly. I actually do the opposite of Ella. So I do 2, 2, and 2. So I only do 6 subjects a year. So I find for me that's really helpful in terms of, managing the workload and also being able to work part-time as well. So it just gives you time to focus on, doing my creative writing and making sure that I'm producing something that's really valuable, and also then for my geographical studies, ensuring that I'm, understanding the concepts well enough as well.
Cool.
For
So
me,
what about you?
Next term, I'm doing my placement, so I think that would be a bit of more commitment, and some courses definitely require more commitment. So I'm thinking of underloading and just doing 2 courses, one including my placement and one other just theory course.
Yeah.
And then after my placement, I was thinking maybe I can take a little break, and on my 3rd year, just do 1 course and probably work more or try to focus on other area rather than just uni, to explore different options. So
Awesome.
super flexible.
Sorry. I think the great thing is that UNSW sort of lets you do whatever suits you.
Yeah.
So if you want to, get in and finish your degree as quick as possible, you can do that. Or if you want to slow it down, you can do that as well. So the way that the calendar structured, lets you do whatever suits you best.
And it also aligns really nicely with the Northern Hemisphere calendar. So
Okay,
if you're
yeah.
planning to do exchange, by the time you finish exchange and come back, you're not going to be like in the middle of the term. So it aligns really nicely. So if you're one of those students who want to go overseas and expand your horizon, then UNSW is the perfect pathway for you.
That's a really good point, actually. Let me just have a quick look here. Rebecca, someone's just asked, so you mentioned Art and Design Campus. Where's that?
Paddington?
Paddington?
Yeah, Paddington area,
Yeah.
which is, people think that it's really far away.
Yeah.
But it's actually only like 15 minutes by bus from Kensington campus.
And is there a bus that you get?
It's like a shuttle bus,
There's a shuttle
or you
bus,
can
okay.
just catch the public bus as well.
Yeah.
There are plenty of transportation options.
Yeah.
But for my education degrees, I spend my time in Kensington campus.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I have classes for my fine arts part, then I just take the bus and go to my Paddington campus. So it's actually fun because I get to experience different environment.
Yeah.
And it's really different though. Paddington slightly smaller, but everyone's slightly more closer to each other. It's like your own sort of studio home sort of vibe. Whereas Kensington is super big and you get to see a range of people and get to experience more broader stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a nice change. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll wrap up there. So we'll leave on. So to wrap up, what's one piece of advice you would give to students that are just doing their HSC or finishing this year and who are interested in studying at UNSW next year?
Well, should we go like this?
Yeah.
sounds
Mitch,
good.
do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I would say don't panic. It may seem that you're sort of transitioning into a really different chapter of your life, but it is definitely worthwhile doing, and you will be okay and you'll get through it. If you're just starting your HSC now, then good luck. And if you're just finishing and you're transitioning into uni, welcome. And we look forward to seeing you here.
Awesome.
For
Rebecca.
me, I would recommend them to not think of the end of year 12 as the end of their journey. It's actually ongoing, and once they step into uni, there are so many networking opportunities, and through joining societies or through classes, you get to meet people who share the same interests as you, and also get to talk to people who are really professional and experts in their area. So you learn a lot from them. So use the opportunities to expand your horizon, meet new people, take the new opportunities, and you would actually grow as a person by the end of the degree.
Awesome.
And I think my biggest piece of advice is to do something that you're really passionate about, both inside the classroom and outside. If you're just there to walk out with a degree, you're not really going to make the most of every opportunity thrown your way. Do something that you love and that you think you're going to want to do for the rest of your life, and that you can really make the most of however long you're at UNSW for, because every opportunity is there. You've just got to grab it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much to my lovely panelists. That's all we have time for this evening. I hope that's got you really excited to join us next year at Arts, Design and Architecture. A reminder that you can join us for our UNSW Open Day on 7th of September. And if there were any questions that we were unable to answer tonight, feel free to contact our Future Students Advisor on the details shown on the screen. Thank you so much and have a good night.